The historic Corner Bistro sells one of the most notable burgers in New York City. However, opinions about it are varied. Burger scholar George Moats praised the creation, while Ryan Sutton of Eater, New York called the burger a disaster. Frankly, I had to find out for myself if the Corner Bistro's burger was something special or if it was merely a dud. Before the review, I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that is designed to help you stand out and be successful online. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or growing your business, Squarespace gives you what you need to showcase your output with a great-looking professional website. With Squarespace, you can grow your brand and expand your audience, claim your domain, and get paid all easily within the same place. When I told my parents that I created my own website, they couldn't believe it. But with Squarespace's cutting edge and easy to use design tools, really anyone can make their own website. With Squarespace's AI enhanced website builder, I was able to create a custom website with just a few easy steps. One aspect of Squarespace that I'm considering using in the future is adding videos to my website. Now that seems like a no-brainer for me since I make videos. Squarespace makes it simple to engage with one's audience through the use of video content on your website with stunning video libraries that are easy to organize. With that being said, head on over to squarespace.com/JamesAndrews for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code JamesAndrews to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So once again, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and now, on to the review. It's a beautiful day today here in New York City. Right now I'm at Madison Square Park, just enjoying the gorgeous weather. But I'd like to talk about the burger I had today, which is probably one of the most divisive in New York City. I am talking about the burger from the long-standing Greenwich Village establishment known as Corner Bistro. Oftentimes you'll see their burger appear on lists of the best burgers in NYC, but at the same time, about 5 or so years back, Eater published an article that just absolutely eviscerated the burger. At the same time, however, the restaurant certainly has its fans. It's been around all these years, so they've got to be doing something right. Plus, burger scholar George Moats wrote about the burger and sang the praises of Corner Bistro in his book, Hamburger America. In terms of the online reviews like Google and Yelp, you pretty much get every opinion under the sun. So I thought it was only fitting to try Corner Bistro myself and form my own opinion about their burger. With that being said, this was my lunch at Corner Bistro. Corner Bistro is located in the Greenwich Village neighborhood of New York City, and it is indeed situated on a corner. The building housing the establishment dates back to 1827 and was originally an inn. Over the years, the structure mainly housed various bars with different owners. It was in 1961 that Corner Bistro was born, but it was in the late 1970s when the establishment became known to the masses. The legendary New York Times food critic Mimi Sheridan praised the burger, and Corner Bistro's popularity ensued. However, a lot has changed since then, and the burger has certainly been the subject of criticism, but also it still receives praise. It was time to find out for myself whether Corner Bistro's burger was something special or if it was merely overrated. The restaurant doesn't accept reservations, but fortunately for me, there was only a light crowd when I arrived for lunch on a Friday afternoon. Alright, just got seated. I came to the back here. It's a little quieter, but yeah, this is a cool looking space. I really appreciated the look, feel, and atmosphere of Corner Bistro. It's laid back and fun. The finishings of the restaurant were nice, with tin-paneled ceilings, brick walls, and wooden tables. It's nothing fancy, but it's clean and showcases a type of restaurant that's becoming all the more uncommon these days in Manhattan. There is definitely some history in this restaurant. Once I settled in, it was time to look over the menu. So there's no physical menus, rather the menus are hanging on the walls. It's limited, but the options look solid. Most customers who choose to dine at Corner Bistro are there for burgers, and it's reflected in the menu. The Bistro Burger is the restaurant's most famous offering, but there are variations and ways to customize the burgers. In addition to lunch and dinner, Corner Bistro also serves breakfast and brunch. Once again, the options were limited, but the brunch burger sounds like something that I should definitely try in the future. Regarding beverages, there's a fairly small list of beer, but I kind of wish there were more craft beer options. For my drink, I got a glass of the Bistro Bohemian Lager, which is the house beer of the restaurant. The beer was decent. It was nice and refreshing, but I wish that it had more body to it and a stronger flavor. It was in fact quite light. Still, it quenched my thirst. In what felt like no time at all, my lunch was presented to me. My food just arrived and it's looking good. Let's eat. Since it was my first time at the restaurant, I had to go with their signature offering, the Bistro Burger, and it looked great. It was presented along with my side of fries on paper plates, which further showcased the casual nature of Corner Bistro. Topping the burger was American cheese and bacon. Underneath the patty was a raw onion. On the side was lettuce, a slice of tomato, and pickles. I put everything together except some of the pickles, and the burger was a ridiculously looking massive concoction that I couldn't wait to try. That was a good first bite, but the burger was so large I couldn't even wrap my mouth around the entirety of it, but I liked what I had in my hands. First off, that patty was incredibly juicy. With every bite, meat juice rained over my plate. Now that's one rain shower that I wouldn't mind being stuck in. As far as the beef, it's formed into a thick 8-ounce patty that, according to George Motes, is a chuck and sirloin blend. It's then cooked in a salamander broiler. As far as the temperature on my burger, I asked for a medium rare, and it came out a bit more on the medium side, which wasn't bad. Although, the actual cook of the meat was a bit uneven, with spots of the beef lacking color. Luckily, despite the issues, it was still a good burger patty, and I enjoyed the flavor, but the reality is, it could have been a bit better. I thought that the meat could have benefited from more seasoning, but thankfully the saltiness of the crisp, flash-fried bacon helped a lot in that department. And that was good bacon. I also felt like a good sear on the beef would have helped as well. However, in hindsight, I'm wondering if I should have left the lettuce and tomatoes on the side to really let the meat shine without so many distractions from the toppings. When I think back on the best burgers that I've ever had, none of them contain lettuce and tomatoes. Still, they're not bad toppings, and I did enjoy that burger. I just don't think it's one of the best in New York City, but that's fine. Plus, the Bistro Burger costs $16.75. In New York City, that's a deal. In comparison, a lot of the top tier burgers in NYC nearly cost twice that amount. In fact, right around the corner from the restaurant is La Bee, where I had their spectacular burger and it set me back $46. However, just weeks after I dined at La Bee, they raised the price of their burger to the absurd sum of $62. All I can say is that I'm glad that I had that one when I did. Coming back to Corner Bistro, I also enjoyed a good heap of fries alongside my burger. In terms of sides, I could have also gotten tater tots, which were definitely intriguing, but my preferred side to a burger will always be fries, and those were some good fries. They were thin and crisp with a spot-on texture and a delightful flavor. It was also a good-sized portion, which I always appreciate. Together with my burger and beer, that was a delightful lunch. To sum it up, Corner Bistro serves a good burger, but when Mimi Sheridan gave her glowing review of the dish, the burger scene in the city was very different. Today, a lot of the top burgers are made from prime dry-aged meats. They contain fancy imported cheeses and unique toppings. Corner Bistro's offering isn't that. It's simple and straightforward, but it's good and honest. The price is fair and the restaurant is fun. It's a place that I would definitely recommend, although it's important to keep one's expectations in line with how good that burger can be. After finishing, it was time for the bill, which totaled to $34.31, but with my tip, I spent an even $40. It's also important to note that Corner Bistro is cash only, which I'm typically not a fan of, but since the prices were so reasonable, I didn't have much of a problem with it. So that hit the spot. I am satisfied. So I enjoyed that. Now I don't think it's one of the best burgers of New York City, but it was solid, it was enjoyable. Although I would like something sweet right now. I gotta find a dessert. I started heading north. I needed something sweet and I needed my afternoon caffeine hit, and I knew just the place. I went to Caffè Panna in the Gramercy Park neighborhood. It's one of my favorite places for ice cream in NYC, and it's my all-time favorite spot for affogatos. I decided to go with the Caffè Bianco Stracciatella Affogato. It was a delicious treat. The rich ice cream, punctuated by bitter pieces of dark chocolate along with the strong shot of espresso, was fantastic. This is so good. Affogatos from Caffè Panna never disappoint. This hits the spot. Well, that was delicious. I am now satisfied. Overall, that was a fine lunch, and I really enjoyed myself this afternoon, but I don't think Corner Bistro's burger is one of the best in New York City. Like I said, it's a good burger, but the burger scene here in New York City has really changed since Corner Bistro introduced their offering. Over the years, the expectations of what actually makes a great burger have definitely increased, and Corner Bistro has remained largely the same, but that's not a bad thing. I do appreciate a place that sticks to their guns, and there's definitely a charm to Corner Bistro. I just think it's important that no one goes there expecting that they'll actually get one of the best burgers in New York City, because at least to me, you definitely will not get that. To me, Corner Bistro seems sort of similar to places like PJ Clark's and JG Mellon, classic establishments famous for their burgers, but burgers that really haven't evolved with the times, that are definitely not top tier today. But like I said, I still think Corner Bistro offers a good burger, and I do think that Eater article was a little overly harsh. Plus, you can't argue with those prices these days in Greenwich Village. To sum it up, I enjoyed my burger, and I really enjoyed my affogato. That was incredible. I certainly enjoyed a fine lunch today.